guys, and welcome back to another how-to build guide by me, Tom at N-SCENIC, and today's build guide is going to be on the O Coaling Chute or Coaling Tower, as you can see here. So the model I've got in my hands here, I constructed as I'm going to show you now, and it was then that I sprayed and weathered the model. So I just dusted it over with a car primer. I went back and weathered it. And it looks like a rusty metal structure, but by all means you can paint and weather how you please to suit your layout. So as always, I'll bring you in closer now. We'll get on with this build and we'll go through each step on how to construct the model. So the tools that I'll be using to construct the model is I'll be using some super glue, as always, just to speed up the build process on the video. I've got some Mod Podge, but that could be PVA glue, a sharp knife just to cut away the model, and just an old paintbrush so I can spread the glue about. So yeah, I'll bring you in closer now and we'll make a start on the build. Okay, so to begin with, we're going to take the grey sheet that comes with the kit and we're going to cut away the hopper from the cardstock. So it's held on with just a few tabs on the outside edge. Just locate those tabs. I think there's only two on it, yeah, one either end. And that should just fold out like so. So as you can see, we've got etched detailing on the outside and the black is just plain. We're going to put the back face down, and just on these edges, we're going to fold it back onto itself, fold it back onto itself, and fold it back onto itself. And again on the perforated edges, I'm just going to lift these up. I'm just going to fold it right back onto itself, press it down so we get a nice crease. The same for the glue tab. I'll do that for each section. And this just helps us when we're gluing it together that we're not fighting the fold. Okay, one more to do. Okay, so I've got all the edges folded now. I'm still working on the back side so there's no etching. I'm just going to take this first tab and using some PVA glue, or in my case some Mod Podge, but PVA glue works just as well. It's just that's what I've got to hand at the minute. I'm going to put some glue on the inside edge. I'm going to bring those 2 points together and I'm just going to hold the glue tab in place, wipe away any excess glue. I'm just going to hold that glue tab in place until it starts to stick, and then we can move on to the next tab. So we're okay there, so I'll take the next tab and apply some glue down on that one. Okay, the same again. We're just going to pull those two edges together, and when we get a nice nice connection here, we're just going to press that glue tab onto the back of the card, and again just hold it until that glue starts to set. Okay, one more to do. Okay, so we're now at that stage. So if you just run some glue on that last tab. And what we're going to do now is just bring them corners together, and that will form the hopper itself. It will just naturally go into the shape we need. So when you're happy, when you get those bottom edges meeting, reach inside with your fingers and just press that glue tab where it needs to be held. Okay, so we've got the hopper complete there. So I'll move on to the next stage. And we're going to use our wooden sheet this time. So we're going to cut away the frame from the stock. So it's held on with just a few tabs here, there and everywhere. And we're not actually trying to cut out the model, we're just putting the blade in between the wood, and that will break the tab that's holding it in place. And we're going to do that on all the pieces for the framework. And it will just pop out like so. Okay, so we have little notches where we've just peeled it away from the MDF sprue. You could either file these down, use a bit of sandpaper, or just as I'm doing, just take away those raised edges to the sides, become nice and flush, nice and flat. And this will help the next stage when we're attaching these to one another. We're going to get a good solid bond. Okay, and we'll do this on all four of the sides. Okay, so we put all the pieces together or face down so you can see what we're working with. We have two sides that has detail work representing bolts or rivets to hold the frame together, and we've got two with a cutout which would allow the train to pass through underneath for coaling. So we're going to take one of each, and the one with the detail work, or the full frame that hasn't got the cutout, is going to get glued to the edge of the pass-through frame, like so. We don't want to glue it that way, we want to glue it that way. So I'm just going to run some super glue for me. Again, PVA glue or some type of wood glue would be better. You'd get a bit of a stronger hold, but for quickness for the video, so you're not waiting around for glue to dry, I'm just going to use some super glue. Okay, so that's sticking for me. Again, if you're using some type of wood glue, which takes a bit longer to dry, you could pinch these edges together with some clothes pegs or something just to hold it into position until that dries, and then we could move on to the next section, or you could glue both together and then finish up joining the four corners together. But for now, I'm just going to run some more glue down this edge. I'm going to take off framework that has the cut through out. And I'm just going to line up all those edges nice and flush and just hold this into position for a second and just allow that glue to dry. Okay, so I'm going to take the last section for the model. I'm just going to flip it face down for me to just hold the model on, glue on. I'm just going to glue one side for now and we're going to get that positioned correctly. Give that a second to dry. Okay, and now I can just squeeze back this side ever so slightly, and I will now apply the glue down that edge, bring back this side of the frame, and when it's all nice and aligned I will just apply some pressure to the side until that starts to stick. Okay, so we've constructed the framework for the tower now. So we're going to bring back the chute we constructed before, and we're going to start to place this inside, and it is a bit of a tight fit than it's designed to be. So just work each edge in first, slowly pushing down as you go, and then once we're in we can start to just tap it down, and we basically want to work the hopper until the sides become completely flush with the top of the framework. Okay, so you can see on the side now all the hopper is completely flush with the top. That's what we want. And I'm just going to run some more of the glue on the framework that is exposed. And on the card itself. And then I'm just going to press this side down, holding it with your fingers until that glue sticks. Okay, and then I'm going to go on to the other side that we've got a big gap, and again I'm going to apply some glue to the framework, and I'm going to apply some to the card itself. Taking a piece again, just holding it flat with your fingers, pushing all the edges right into the corners. I tend to just keep rubbing it edge to edge. And when it starts to stick we can move on to the next side. So that's okay for me. So it's raised here slightly, so I'm just going to try and put some glue on the inside of that framework. And again, just going to press it down. Just allow that glue to dry. It'll start to stick before we move on to the final side. So again, if needs be, if you're using glue that takes a bit longer to dry, you can quite easily put a lot of pegs. So just to clamp these sides and allow that glue to set properly, and then we can move on to the next step. Okay, so you get the idea. I'll leave this one for now, but you get the idea. Glue all four sides, get them all nice and flush, and try and keep the top level with the framework as well. But for me, that'll do. I'll move on to the next step for you. Oops, sorry. So we're going to go back to our sheet. I'm going to cut away the decking. As you can see here, it's all laser cut, etched out, with perforated floorboards. Okay, while we're at it, we'll cut out the ladders too. So they're just attached by the feet. Okay, we've got the parts we require, and the one that goes onto the top level, like so, is the one with the square hole cut out. So to fold the edges up, I find it more reliable as to not crease the card where we don't want it. If you can just use the flat edge of the MDF that comes in the kit, clamp down the perforated bit of the side of the handrail and just fold it over. And once we've got it halfway, I tend to just fold it right back on itself, and that way we're not fighting the edges when we come to glue. I'll spin it round. I'll do the same again for this side. And then the same for the long one. Okay, so for myself, I'm just going to use some super glue to glue these sides together. So I'll put some glue right on that edge. I'm going to bring these two to meet, like so. And it just takes a second for this glue to set. And I've completed the corner there, so I'll spin it round. Put some glue on this edge again. Bring them to meet. And there's the top deck done. So just put that to the side for now. And we want to do the same for the lower deck. So clamp it, fold it up, fold it over. Fold it up. Fold it over, and then the long one, the same again. Fold it up and fold it over. And the same with these railings, we just want to glue them together, edge to edge, if you can see it on that. Okay, let's spin it round. Put some glue on this edge. And just bring them together also. Okay, so we've got the two levels now constructed, so I'm just going to take the model and it goes onto the side that has the full frame, so not the cut frame for the train, and I'm going to take the level that has the hole cut out, and again for quickness I'm just going to use some super glue, but I'm just going to right around that top rail is where we want to apply the glue. I'm going to offer up the thread and it should start to stick. And we're going to keep that as much 90 degrees to the framework as possible. So that's sticking for me. And the next decking wants to go on the middle support brace, that's it going across the frame. So again, I'm just going to put some glue from edge to edge. I'm going to hold thread against the frame like so, and again I'm trying to hold it while it dries as much 90 degrees as possible. Okay. As you can see there, we've got both sides now attached. Just make it take a bit longer to dry fully, but I'm going to allow that to set and then we'll move on for the next bit. Okay, so that should be set up now for me. So I'm going to take one of the ladders. They're both currently at the same length. And I'm going to dip one of the ends into some glue, a little good blob of glue on that, as you can see there. I'm going to drop it through that square, and then we're going to rest it on the frame like so, and where it meets the top I'm just going to apply some glue also. I'm going to use super glue for this. Okay, and the way I placed the second ladder on my model was to glue the ladder straight to the framework of the coaling chute. By all means, if you were going to place this on your layout, you could also angle the ladder like so. It's completely up to you, but for the purpose of the video I'm going to do it how I did it. So right down this edge of the framework, put a thin amount of glue. Like so, and obviously because I've glued it straight, I've got a bit of extra ladder I need to get rid of, so I'm just going to use the knife to cut through the legs. we've got the ladders now attached, like so. So we're getting to near completion now. The last remaining parts we're going to require is the sides to the cold feed. These, you don't run any risk of breaking them as you push them out, so you can just thumb these out, like so. Again, we've got those little rough areas where the model was attached to the stock. So I'm just going to shave those away. Nice and flush. Okay. Now we want to take our grey card. I'm going to cut out so we cut out these two sections. These are going to form the front and back to the coal feeder. Right, okay, so I'm going to take one of these sides. I'm just going to glue the curve to begin with, and then we'll concentrate on the straight edge, which is much easier to glue, but we want to get this edge nice and straight, or nice fitment on the actual side of it. So again, I'm just going to use some of the Mod Podge PVA glue would work as always, and I'm just going to go more or less halfway around the edge up to about here, and we're going to glue any of these on, and we simply just want to get those edges nice and flush, and as I pull the card round, I'm going to press it, and I'm just going to hold it again until that glue starts to grip. So that's nice and flush around the side there. Glue's starting to set now, so just keep pressing where it comes up, just get a good fitment. Okay, and I'm now going to run some glue down this side so we can glue the model on. And the excess just wipe off. The same process, we want to get those edges nice and flush, and I find if you just keep running your fingers up and down, you're going to get the card to stick nice and flat. And the excess just wipe off with your finger. Okay, so that's the first side completed. The excess we've got at the bottom, I'm just going to cut level to the base, like so. Okay, so we then next want to bring in the other side to the hopper, or the feeder, sorry, and I'm going to simply slide that up into position, like so, and I'm going to glue all the edges on one go. So I'm just just going to put some glue all the way around this edge, from top to bottom. Okay, so put glue all the way around the edge. I'm going to lay this, or stand this up like so, and I'm going to push this right into that curve, but also I'm going to get those edges nice and flush on the card. Okay. I've got those edges nice there, so I'm just going to wipe away any excess glue back here. And again, just using my fingers, I'm going to continue to just rub the card flush against the MDF sides until that starts to stick, and then we can move on to the last section. So I'm going to glue on this piece to the inside now. To get that curve to begin with, I've got the edge lines facing me. I'm just going to start the curve on the back with a pencil or paintbrush as I'm using here. And that just helps us get the natural shape like so. We're not going to be flanking the card to glue it into place, it just wants to rest there naturally now. So again, we're going to glue this in one go this end. I'm going to run some glue down both sides of the feeder. Top to bottom, moving the curve top of them. So we glued underneath here, glued down both sides, back away any excess. And I'm going to take our side, feed it up. Again, it doesn't matter if we're not nice and flush here, we can trim that back once it's dry. I'm just resting my fingers inside this curve here, nice and tight against the side of the MDF. Okay, I'm going to trim off this excess over here. Bottom, and while that's drying, we'll just cut out the last remaining piece from the cardstock. And that's the square section here. Okay, and we want to cut this piece nice and flush. So any excess you've got there, just trim it with a knife. Like so, and the last remaining piece to be glued on is going to be this front section. And that will give the impression that each of the sides of the hopper are the same thickness. Looking at it like so. So it hides the different thicknesses between the card and the MDF, and it just gives it that finishing touch. Okay, so I would now allow that to completely dry. Again, if you're thinking about painting these separately, you wanted this a different colour before you attach it, by all means go ahead and paint it how you like. But for me, I'm just going to move on, and I want to position the hopper however you see please. So you could have it standing off of a gap like so, but the way I have done it on the website and within the shop is I've actually glued the feeder to the railings, and the chute goes over into the hopper for the hole itself. So where that stands up against those railings, that's where I'm going to apply some super glue. I'm just going to simply glue it on, making sure it's getting glued on straight this way as well. Just so that's it, that's the completed model. We've now built from start to finish, and it's now up to you to go away and paint however you see fit. You can use whatever paints you like, whatever paints you've been using, enamel, acrylics, car spray paints, they all work well, and it takes well to weathering. So I use an airbrush to weather normally, but it can be dry brushed. Weathering powders work great on the model, and really make it your own now, make it suit your layout, age and weather it to the area you've got on your layout. So okay, we'll zoom back out and we'll have a look at the models we've got side by side. Well, there we are, there's the build from start to finish for the OO Coaling Chute, or tower, however you like to call it. I hope the build process has been easy to follow along to. I've tried to keep it as simple in design but full of detail as always. And I always have construction in mind for the end user, so I've tried to keep it as simple as possible, like I said, and the steps aren't that hard to follow once you follow along slowly and just take your time with building the model. If you like the model, give us a like on the video below, and if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be great. And any new releases, you would see a little bell icon and you will get a notification of a new release just for you, and you can see what else is being added to the N-SCENIC range. I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.